What is going on, guys? Thanks for checking out this video on my sports Gematria. In this video, I'm going to go over some UFC fights for Saturday, March 11th, 2023. I'm going to show you highlights of each side, and it's going to be up to you to determine who you think will win based on the numbers. I encourage you to add additional information on top of this if needed for you to feel confident in your own pick. And I wish you guys the best of luck on all your picks for this event. Let's go ahead and get into the event. I'm going to be looking at UFC Fight Night at the theater at Virgin Hotels, Las Vegas, Nevada. It's going to be starting. The prelims are going to be starting around early midday. Main card is going to be early evening. But I'm only going to be looking at the main event and the co-main event. So Peter versus Merab, and then the two Alexanders are fighting each other. So those are the two that I'm going to be looking at in this video. On this side of the screen is what I call my daily numbers, date numerology, Gregorian Hebrew calendar. And then on this side of the screen is what I call my game numbers, numbers specific to the game. The way that I have it structured here is I have the event name up top, the stadium that it's at, city, state, the location, the class weight for the fight. And then right here is one fighter, his name, Gematria, his birthday, to and from, fight record, any type of win or losing streak that he's on, as well as his UFC record. In the middle is the head-to-head Gematria for the last names. And then at the bottom is the other fighter, his name, Gematria, birthday, to and from, fight record, any type of win or losing streak that he's on, as well as his UFC record. So we're going to get started with the co-main event first. The Alexanders versus each other. The only difference between these two Alexanders is one spells it with the ER, the other one just spells it with an R. So it's the battle of the Alexanders. I'll go over the fighter on the bottom first, give some numbers why he can win, and then I'll go over the numbers for the fighter on top, some reasons why he can win. So starting with the first Alexander, the one that has it with just the R, if he can win this fight, or if he's going to win this fight, some things that I would point to would be it being a day with 57 date numerology on the Gregorian. If you write out the number 57, it sums to 139, the 34th prime number. Volkov, it's the 139th day of his 34-year-old age. 139 is the 34th prime number. 57 date numerology, 57 sums to 139. And he could become 9-5 for a UFC record with a loss. 95, if you write it out, sums to 57. For Romanev, however you want to say his last name, it's his 18th fight for his career. He could become 6-1 for a UFC record with a win. 6-1, like 61. 61 is the 18th prime number. This will be a heavyweight fight. Heavyweight sums to 61. And also, he can become 17-1 for a fight record overall for his career with the win. 171 is the 18th triangular number. So that 18 can hit twice for his record. 18th fight, he could become 17-1, 18 triangular, as he becomes 6-1 for a UFC record, 61 the 18th prime. It is a day with 37 date numerology on the Gregorian, and he can get his 17th win for his career. If you write out the number 17, comes to 37. And honestly, that's about all I've seen for this side of the fight for Alexander Romanov, however you want to say it. That's about what I have for him. If we look towards the other Alexander, Volkov, his name, if you write it out, sums to 181. Actually, no, this would actually be in favor for Romanov, excuse me. So one more thing for Romanov, his opponent sums to 181. This is his 18th fight. He can end his one fight losing streak like 181. So that would actually favor this Alexander. So yeah, I messed up. I guess what I was gonna say for let's switch gears to Volkov. Let's try this again. If Volkov was going to win this fight, in Alexander Romanov's 18th fight, he can get his second loss in a row. 18-2, like the number 182, which is my bias number. 182, 218, 128. I see that number a lot, so I just kind of pick it up as I see it. But he would get Romanov would get his second loss in a row, as Volkov gets his second win in a row, kind of like 2-2, like 22. And this is Volkov versus Romanov, which sums to 79, the 22nd prime number. Romanov can get his second loss for his career, his second loss for UFC, second loss in a row, as Volkov gets his second win in a row. Volkov versus Romanov, 79, the 22nd prime number, 2-2. Honestly, though, outside of that, I don't know. I really don't know anything for Volkov. I don't really see anything for Volkov. Looking for his 36th win for his career. I don't really see a 36 connection for within the game numbers or the date numerology. So I'm not really sure on that one. 36. I guess we can say 91. It will be the 91st day of Romanov's 32-year-old age. 91st day of his age. Could be a reason why Volkov gets his 36th win for his career. 36 sums to 91. I don't know how reliable that is. It seems kind of a little bit of a stretch, though. But he could sit on 10 losses for his career, as he gets his 10th UFC win for his career, 10-10. And this will be his 14th UFC fight for his career, 14. You spell it out, sums to 104. He could become 10-4 for a UFC record in his 14th UFC fight. And that's I don't know. I don't see anything else really. I mean, I guess if we want to go back to the 36, and 36 sums to 91. 91 is the 13th triangular number. It being the 91st day of Romanov's current age. I guess you can connect the last names. Volkov versus Romanov. 169. 169 has a square root of 13. 13 times 13 sums to 169. I don't know. It doesn't seem that great to me, but I guess it is kind of a connection in ways. Let's type in 52. Sums to 92. 52 sums to 92. It's 90, or a total span of 91 days since his birthday. 52 sums to 92, 90, 91, 92. He could become 5-2 for a UFC record with a loss. I don't know. I honestly don't see a whole lot for Volkov. And, that doesn't mean he's going to not win, but I just don't have a whole lot of connections for him. I have more connections for Romanov than I do Volkov, but I don't know. I really don't know for this fight. I'm trying to make a case, but I don't know. I really don't know for the 36, and honestly, I don't really see anything for the 11 either. Volkov his record for me is a blank slate. I have no idea. The 36 or the 11. 490th prime. I don't know. I don't know. Your guys' guess is as good as mine. I really don't know. I don't see anything. I don't see any drastic numbers for either side. I mean, Romanov has the 18 connections, but that's all he has is the 18 connections, really. And I guess you can say the 57 connection. 57 sums to 139. 139th day of Volko's 34-year-old age. He could become 9-5. 95 sums to 57. But outside of that, and then for Volkov, you know, the last name summoned to 90 or 79, the 22nd prime. He can get a second win in a row, as Romanov gets a second loss in a row. 14th UFC fight, 14 sums to 104. He can become 104, 10-4 for UFC record. Gets his 10th win. Sits on 10 losses for his career. And yeah, I mean, this is a fight that I'll make a pick on, but I wouldn't put any money on it. I just don't. There's nothing really here for me to really grab a hold of or be interested or make me interested in it. I don't know. I'll make a pick on it, but on my Patreon page, but I'm not betting any money on it. I don't see anything. Let's go on to the next fight. The main event.
Sorry to interrupt this video, you guys, but I need a huge favor from you. Can you go ahead and like this video and leave a comment below on who you think's going to win? It's going to help with the YouTube algorithm. It's going to help grow my channel. I really appreciate you guys being here. Let's go ahead and get back into the video.
Merab versus Peter. Merab. We'll start with Merab. We'll start with him first, and then we'll go over some numbers for Peter Yan. So if Merab was going to win this fight, it is a day with 164 date numerology on the Hebrew Civil. He could become 16-4 for a fight record in his career with the win. Peter Yan comes into this fight 16-4 for a fight record. He could just become 16-5 with the loss. This will be a day with 37 date numerology on the Gregorian. If you spell out 37, it sums to 165. So we can go ahead and mark that in a gray color. Right there. He could become 16-5 for a loss. He could become 16-4. 37 date numerology. 37 sums to 165. 164 date numerology on the Hebrew Civil side. Merab, he'll be fighting Peter Yan, who was born in the year 93. And he can get his 9th win in a row as Peter Yan gets his 3rd loss in a row, like 93. Merab, he'd become 9-2. He comes out for that one. Oh, well, 98 actually, yeah. 92 sums to 98. Yan versus, I don't know how to say his last name. Dvalishvili. Dvalishvili. I don't know. Yan versus this guy's last name sums to 98. He could become 9-2 for a UFC record with the win. 92 sums to 98. That could be something. And that's all she really have and Peter Yan, his name sums to 99. Peter Yan sums to 99. Could be a reason why Merab gets his 9th win in a row, as well as his 9th UFC win for his career. I don't like either of these fights, to be honest. But I'm just doing it for you guys. I know some of you guys are interested in this stuff, so mostly just doing it for you guys on this one. But that's what I have from Merab, I guess. If we look at Peter Yan to win this fight, we can go back to the year that he was born. He was born in the year 93. He could become 9-3 for a UFC record with a win. It's 28 days since his birthday. He can end his 2-fight losing streak as he ends his opponent's 8-fight winning streak, like 28. But what's even more interesting is Yan versus Dvalishvili. I don't know how to say his last name. Forgive me. Yan versus this guy. His last name. It sums to 208. This is his 20th fight for his career. He can end his 8-fight winning streak, kind of like 208. And then this fight's in Las Vegas, which sums to 23. Las Vegas, Nevada sums to 83, the 23rd prime number. Merab could become 8-3 for a UFC record with a loss like 83. And then Peter can get his 17th win for his career on a day with 17-date numerology. 17 comes to 37. So in the main event and the co-main event, there is a fighter that can get their 17th win. So Alexander Romanov can get his 17th win for his career. Peter Yan can get his 17th win for his career. Will they both get their 17th win for their careers? I don't know. It could be an either or scenario. So if we see that Alexander Romanov gets his 17th win, maybe Peter Yan doesn't get his 17th win, and then vice versa. If Alexander Romanov does not get his 17th win and becomes 16-2 instead, maybe that leaves the door open for Peter Yan to get his 17th win. Something like that. We've seen that in UFC events for main and co-main events where their records are about the same, and it's usually an either or split when it happens. But that's about what I have for these fights. Nothing too exciting. None of the numbers really stand out to me as far as like, oh shit, this looks really cool. It's just your basic reads. And even that doesn't really give me a lot of confidence in either of these fights. I probably won't put any bets on either of these fights. I'm mostly doing this just for you guys, because I know some of you guys probably want this for your own purposes. So I'm just showing you both sides of these for you guys. For the co-main event, I mean, I didn't see a whole lot of numbers either way. I mean, I can make a short case for either side, but none of the numbers really stand out to me. And then for the main event, there's some numbers here for the main event, but no wow factors. No real wow factors for me. Whatever that's supposed to mean, I don't know. Hopefully this helps. Hopefully this gives you insight to the fights. My picks are always in writing, underlined, and italicized on my Patreon page if that's what you're looking for. If not, no big deal. Just pause the video and copy these numbers yourself and then come up with your own conclusion. Start to learn this work on your own. It's such an easy format for anybody to copy and paste if they actually really wanted to. If not, no big deal. I wish you guys the best of luck on all your picks. Hopefully you win all the money in the world. And I'll see you guys in the next video.